Welcome to the Blue Sky Cellar.
Hi there, welcome.
At the Blue Sky Cellar, this kind of, as a concept, as an idea, as a physical place that's around us, it was very important to us as Imagineers, even when we were thinking about the California Adventure Expansion Project from the very beginning. We really wanted to have a place where we could share with our guests a lot of the things that we had planned and that we had up our sleeves, a lot of the magic, a lot of the fun. But as excited as we were for that, we also were very excited about the opportunity and the chance to tell the Imagineering story, the story of the process of what we do here to bring these stories to life. One of the things that we like to do, of course, is not just put up, we like to tell that process story. So one of the things we like to do is not just put up something that would be just a finished, polished concept piece of art or a marketing piece of art. What we'd rather do is tell the story of how we got there. One of the process stories, I think, that would be a really good example of what we do. Maybe you noticed on one of those desks back there, as you were mingling around, I put just six of the dozens and dozens and dozens of concept ride layouts that I did for Little Mermaid. They're all dated and they are all at the same scale, so it's a very apples to apples comparison. You could start as a guest looking at that very top plan. It would be the very first one that I actually released to our team, and you'll find that it is pretty much nothing like the actual building that we're building right now. But if you worked your way down to that very bottom one that was created probably about a year after that first one, you'll find that with a few tweaks, it actually is very much like what we're building just down the road here. Our rule of thumb is it's about 4 years from our first idea to opening day. And what you'll find is that rarely, if ever, that first idea looks anything like what you see on opening day. So here at Blue Sky Cellar, we like to kind of focus on that time frame between what happened on that first idea and what happened on opening day. That is, we have a kind of an elevated view here at Blue Sky Cellar, so you can look out actually over the construction fence into Cars Land. So we provided kind of a panoramic, abstract or stylized panoramic view with text that kind of points out a lot of the important landmarks that you're seeing over the fence there in Radiator Springs. The first thing you probably saw as you came into the Blue Sky Cellar was that board that showcases the new Disney California Adventure attraction posters. So Disney California Adventure finally gets to have its own version of attraction posters. That's kind of a tradition that Disneyland's been carrying on since 1956. We're debuting the first 3 of a much larger series right here at the Blue Sky Cellar, and that's Mickey's Fun Wheel, California Screamin', and Silly Symphony Swings. The next board, as you move down, we're showcasing Buena Vista Street, which of course is our new hub and entry area of the park, and currently in the early stages of construction. You'll see some concept sketches, some early concept sketches really, done by the creative director for that area of the park. And there's a bird's eye view of the turnstile area and some concept art on the red car trolley. I wanted to keep that area just a little bit looser because plans aren't finalized, but our initial thinking is that our next show here in Blue Sky Cellar is going to be all about Buena Vista Street, so I didn't want to tease too much, or I didn't want to give away too much of the story there. Moving down, we have Paradise Pier, and we're going to kind of wrap up Paradise Pier on this board here with the stuff is still under construction and is opening later this year. The 2 restaurants and that beautiful outdoor seating area between them, and Goofy Sky School, which is the thematic overlay for the existing Mulholland Madness attraction. That last board you see is the Hollywood area of the park, and you'll see some concept sketches of Hollywood Boulevard with the red car there, and you'll also see the Playhouse Disney building as it's being converted over to Disney Junior. You'll notice a lot of the kind of contemporary graphics are being removed in favor of a more period flavor there. And then on this wall you'd see the glass cabinet. That's pretty near and dear to our hearts because that is very changeable on the fly. We can, right now we're showing some stills from the production of our Blue Sky Cellar video shoot. We have an aerial photograph that was taken just a couple of weeks ago, so it's very current. And we actually left up the aerial photograph that was in there previously from about 6 months ago, and you can really see the difference between what happened in those 6 months. Moving around here into the screening room, you may have noticed that we've updated all the photographs of my fellow Imagineers at work here on the walls. There was nothing wrong with the old ones. They've been here since we opened about 2 years ago. Probably one of the biggest wows that we have here for this redo of Blue Sky Cellar is our Enchanted artwork. I'm sure everyone had a chance to take a look at that. It is indeed art. You may not know it. There is an actual printed picture in that frame. The very cool effect you're seeing, though, is due to a projection. We project the exact same image back onto itself, very tightly registered. And once you're doing that, that gives you those very vibrant colors that it's almost impossible to get any other way. Once we're doing that projection, though, we've decided you can manipulate that projection any way you choose. And in this case, we've just decided to add some animated magic. There's some very obvious things like the Tower of Terror lightning strike or the World of Color show that goes off. And then there's some very subtle things like the fireflies that dance over in Bugs Land and some of the blinking neon in Radiator Springs downtown area. This process was developed internally at Imagineering. If you're familiar at all with the updates that were installed recently at Snow White's Scary Adventure, this is a very close cousin to that same technique. Actually the last thing I'd like to share with you here in this room, we do have a brand new Blue Sky Cellar video. In normal operation, you probably know this kind of runs continuously, but we have it queued up here for you now, so I say let's roll that.
We call it Imagineering, the blending of creative imagination with technical know-how.
Art means a lot to me, something that'll never be finished, something that I can keep developing.
As long as there is imagination left in the world, Disneyland will never be complete.
What I love about the Blue Sky process is it lets us dream. It lets us come up with wonderful new adventures to take our guests on.
At Imagineering, we think big, and Disney California Adventure is no exception.
I love this.
We are over halfway through this major expansion, and already we're seeing terrific enhancements in Paradise Pier. And of course, the addition of the spectacular World of Color has extended our guests' enjoyment of the park well into the evening.
The architecture of Paradise Pier is really designed to enhance the story. The team did a lot of research about the history of seaside amusement parks, and really none of those places exist the way they did, so it was our goal and our intent to bring back that magic and that nostalgia. The architecture of the Little Mermaid attraction was inspired by the architecture of the Dragon Gorge coaster that existed at Venice Boardwalk, which is an exotic tribute to the past of these seaside parks.
Building design works kind of like a puzzle. There's a lot of parts that have to fit together. We're able to use the computer modeling process to help us visualize these buildings before they appear in real life. For the last several years, we've been looking at this building in 3D on the computer, and you really don't get a sense of the massive scale that it is.
Thousands of lights around the building are going to light up and be visible all the way across Paradise Bay to make it a spectacular attraction, an amazing gateway to Paradise Pier.
The Little Mermaid, Ariel's undersea adventure, is a wonderful ride through the experience of the film. We have some of the best scenes from that film with really, really great and wonderful songs as well. When you come in to Disney California Adventure and you travel down to Paradise Pier, you're going to see this wonderful building that's being constructed. Where we start is in a phase called Blue Sky, where the sky's the limit, and we think about all the things that we can do to bring this movie to life. And we go through a concept design phase, then we start to do design with drawings and things like that. Then we get together with the people that are going to help us build all the different pieces. And then as we produce the pieces, We bring everything together here in the facility and then start to put this whole experience together for the guests. Right now in the construction process, we put a lot of the scenery in. We're waiting on the animated figures, but we've got the props going, and we're also installing the ride system. We're creating this party atmosphere. Then when Ariel, the figures show up, and Eric and Sebastian, Flounder, all of them, it's going to be like it's the party for them and the guests have arrived. So the next step is to get them in here and start to program them so this whole place comes alive. What I think guests will enjoy the most about this attraction is they are under the sea with Ariel and all of her friends, and they're going to be so up close that they're going to feel like they're part of this environment. Our ride vehicles are beautifully colored clamshells, and you're actually going to be part of the scene, not just watching it. So coming through this scene, as a matter of fact, you're going to be a colorful shell just like the colors that you see here. And I think that's going to be wonderful because you're going to be right in it. The Little Mermaid is a classic film that I think still resonates with all of us today. So that's why I think it's going to be so exciting to bring this to the guests.
Right now at Radiator Springs Racers, we are doing early ride testing of our prototype vehicle, our first vehicle. It's going really well, and it's so fun to see this car out running around on the track with his little smile on his face. This car, Radiator Springs Racers, we think of it as a giant slot car. So if you look at it, there's a slot in the middle of the track that the car will follow along. It's the same ride system that we have at Test Track at Epcot in Florida. So it's super successful for us. We love it because it makes you feel like you're actually riding on a road. Your tires are touching the pavement, and it is the only ride system that we saw, that we knew, that really felt like a car. And obviously for Radiator Springs Racers, feeling like you're in a car is the most important thing. We opened in 2012. You walk into the park and you can see the steel is coming up. It's going to form Ornament Valley, and it's so exciting. And people are looking in, they're wondering what's going on, and we just can't wait to open it up.